Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for the new moon in Pisces. This is Vickie, really the rock and roll prophetess, and we are going to be looking at that new moon in Pisces, which is occurring on March 6, 11:04 a.m. Eastern, but times will vary. This is this whole month, okay, this is the month of March of 2019. We've got the new moon, and at the same time there's some big stuff going on because Uranus has moved into Taurus that day. Like, I think earlier that day, but it's within the same 24-hour period, Uranus has just moved into Taurus too. So that's a big boost, and it's a big kind of dual energy we're working with. And then also when we get to that equinox chart, then we have a full moon in Virgo, plus it's going to be conjunct Chiron. And this whole thing, there's a lot of stuff going on in that chart. That's why I'm offering that equinox reading if you're interested, and I relate it to your chart. That's why I'm late getting this up. I've been kind of busy with those, but it's exciting. It's exciting, and a powerful time frame that we're coming into during the month of March. So let's start where we're at. We're starting with this new moon here on the 3rd. It's not the 3rd, it's the 6th. If I said the 3rd before. 3A is just my way of keeping them in order. Like 3A and then 3B is the second one. So that all the charts, followed down in order in my file. But it's March 6th if I said it's something else. Yeah, so here, where is it? And look at all this Pisces stuff. We've got Sun, Moon, and it's conjunct Neptune. And it's conjunct Vesta as well. And then Mercury is retrograde down at 29 Pisces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 placements in Pisces. So we are fully, right at this moment, we are fully immersed into the Pisces energy. And that in conjunct Neptune, it's ruling planet. So that's all about dreaming, spirituality, creativity. It's a good time to delve into those kinds of things. New moons are always times to start these kind of things or initiate these kinds of things of whatever energy it's falling under. So in this case, again, it's falling under, excuse me, there's something on the screen, I got it. Falling under, that Piscean vibration energy. Also because Mercury's retrograde, because Pisces rules the 12th house, so it's the past, it's hidden. And Mercury being retrograde, people could be revisiting something from their past. I was just revisiting something from my past this morning. A long time ago, a business I wanted to start. I was just thinking of it, just popped into my head. I had no idea it was going to come up in this reading. And I'm thinking to myself, that's still a viable idea. I should, go back and work on that some more. So it could be something like that. Usually I do these readings way ahead of time, but I'm doing it within a few days of the, of the actual date. So I think I'm kind of in the vibe a little bit. But these ideas, because Mercury is the mind and Pisces is the psyche and the spirit, so ideas can come back and say, whatever happened to that, or that person, whatever happened to that person? I thought we were going to do this thing together or that thing together. It can bring things back from the past. It could also be long-standing things that we missed, that have been nagging at our subconscious, that the universe has been trying to show us and trying to show us, and putting little... Because synchronicity and magic is happening all the time, and the realm of Neptune and Pisces is so magical. And synchronicity and magic happen all the time. It's whether we're noticing it or not. When you notice it, then it really starts showing up everywhere, and it really starts coming forth. It's true with everything. A lot of times it'll be like nature, If you're not going out in nature, then they can't show you all the little, they can't speak to you. If you're not in the conversation with the Mercury, they can't speak to you. So it's a time to pay attention to those types of things. It's a time to do the dream journaling, writing down your dreams. That's another way that spirit and your subconscious mind communicates with you and speaks to you and sends you messages. So it's a time to be really aware of that. Even though Scorpio is more the realm of the people of the dead, or whatever you might call it, I'm picking up that their spirits are coming through too for many of us. That we might have dreams about people that we loved, or a lot of times that is kind of communication too. That will happen. Not necessarily through them showing up in a dream, but you might just find, like with my brother, I do the dimes. I always find the dimes everywhere. or you find see something or hear something that reminds you their favorite song, or different things. Song and music is really strong also with the Neptune and Piscean energy. So this is the energy that we're in. Uranus is there. Now we got to talk about this Uranus and Taurus. It was in there last year for a little while. On that Taurus video I did for the tarot, I gave all the specific dates. But we did get a little taste of it. We did get a little, a little glimpse, a little glimpse of it back last year for a few months. It was in there. But now I should just tell you. Because why should you have to go watch another video, right? I can hear you all out there saying, you mean I have to go watch another video? I'm not going and watching another video just to see what the dates were. It will help if I had the right, the 21st century ephemeris. Let's just look that up. That would have been 2018, real quick. When was Uranus in Taurus? Uranus went into Taurus in 2018, May. In Taurus time, yeah, and it was in there through May, all the way through October, and then it went back out in November. So May through November of last year is when we had Uranus in Taurus already. So we've had a taste of it. We've had a little glimpse of it. I don't know that it went in on a new moon last time though, because that's kind of like giving it a little bit of a boost. That's the new energy. They're kind of working together, and they do work together. It's harmonious. It's a sextile, which is harmonious energy. Let me just double check, since I've already got my ephemeris out here. When was the new or full moon? In May of last year anyway. This was around the 16th, 17th. When was that? Well, actually, there was a new moon in Taurus on the 15th, so it probably did come in with a new moon last year in Taurus in its own sign. Or right around there. Maybe not the exact same day, but right around there. I'm not going to start running charts and figuring it out perfect, but that's what it is. We also have Mars. I'm going to keep this page open. We also have Marge, not Marge. I keep saying Marge. Wow, that's weird. So maybe that's a message for somebody. Anybody know a Marge who's a spirit? That was coming through. Yeah, last year we had Mercury there. That was it. This time we have Mars there. That Marge is still coming through. Marge. Well, it's March. It's the month of March. But I think it's the name Marge, M-A-R-G-E. So if that's for somebody. I mean, I had a Marge. Maybe it's my aunt coming through. But if it is Aunt Marge, it's a bad time. I'm doing a reading right now. I'll talk to you later, okay? Anyways, no, I think it's probably a message for somebody else out there too. Anyways, Mars is in there too. So Mars is also contributing to Uranus's thrusting forward, feeding it, giving it energy, empowering it, making it, happen. Uranus and Taurus, there's a lot of talk about that. I haven't watched any other videos. That's another, I got to get this done because I like to watch the other astrologers' videos too. I have a bunch of my favorites. And I never watch them till I do my own because I don't want to inadvertently say something they said. Often we'll say the same things, but I never watch anybody's before mine. So I want to, as soon as I do this, I'll be watching some others later this afternoon and getting their take on it. But we've been talking about Uranus and Taurus for a while. We all have, a lot of the YouTubers and different astrologers. And the most thing that usually comes up, because Taurus' second house is money, right? So the money's going to change. We know this. The money's going to change. It's probably going to be when this stuff here gets real close, the Pluto-Saturn conjunction. But, so I'm trying to think of some other things. Yeah, we know the money's going to change. Taurus energy is very fixed. Well, Aquarius, which is the Uranus rules Aquarius, that's its ruling vibration, also is a fixed sign. But Aquarius is a kind of a different kind of fix than the other fixed signs. Taurus is probably the most fixed of the fixed signs. It's like feet on the ground, stubborn as a bull. We've heard all these expressions. Doesn't like to have change happen. Likes things the way they are. Wants to know where they stand. Wants to be on solid ground. And Uranus is like the opposite of that. It's like not on solid ground at all. It's fluctuating. It's changing. But what it could do, let's look at it besides money. It could, anything that we're really fixated on. anything that's stuck in our aura or our body, energy stuck in your body, because Taurus is very physical. Anything that's stuck anywhere, Uranus could dislodge it. I mean, Uranus is a dislodging, disruptive type of energy, but sometimes things need dislodging. Sometimes things need uprooting. Sometimes things need, to change. We need change. So, and I think in a lot of cases it's stuff that we don't even know about. It reminds me of how they try to pass things with the energy, what they're trying to convey to me, what I'm getting here psychically, is, it's like when they put a bill in the House or the Senate, they're trying to pass a bill in government. And it's like, well, it's this blanket thing that covers a whole bunch of stuff, It's like, well, we want to pass this certain bill, but it also includes this, this, and this, and all these other little things that they're kind of almost trying to sneak in under the cloak of this bill called the blank blank bill that's, you think it's directed towards one thing, but really there's all these other little things in there going on. I think that that's what Uranus and Taurus kind of energy can do to our soul and our bodies and our being. Wherever there's little things kind of that we don't know about, we just cover it under one blanket, like under a blanket or one cloak. It's all cloaked under this one bundled thing, So, but really, they're showing me like almost like little rocks or there's little speckles and little things in there that Uranus could, kind of dislodge and break out and get rid of and clear. It's going to be very clearing. Because we could be really stuck on something, well, I like this because of this, and that's it, But by you taking that stance, by anybody of us, or us as a collective, because Uranus is the 11th house, that's the collective, if any of us saying, this is this because blank, like we're being really stuck about something, and not seeing the other parts of it, it's a filtering process. That's what they're trying to tell me. Almost like when I have one right here. When you're panning for gold, or I just looked up in the, I know I'm kind of getting all over the place. That's Uranus energy. But when I looked up at this thing, this is one of these, a sifter, sifting out all this. You run it through the sifter, and I think you're going to be surprised with what you find in there. But it's so funny, when I held this up, I looked at the camera to see if you could see it, and it reminded me, I don't know if this was a local show or not, but Romper Room, and she would hold up this thing and she'd say, I see Johnny and Susie, and I know for some of you this might seem like it's kind of all over the place, but when I get these weird psychic things like that, often it has something to do with something for somebody, so I do tend to just spit it out and say it, But back to the chart. It feels like things are, like you've built a rock around something, or you've built a mountain around something, on this one principle, or this one idea, or this one stance. But really, there's much more going on. There's stuff all over in there. There's all kinds of little boulders and different things in there. So we got to run it through the sifter. Oh, I just got it. It's like panning for gold. You might find some gold. Oh, I just got chills on that one. That's what they're trying to tell me. So going through things and sifting through our staunch ideas, our staunch stance, our beliefs, and our habits. I think a lot of this for a lot of people is some physical stuff too. Maybe it's just for me, but maybe it'll apply for other people too. It's some energy blockages in the physical body, and Taurus is a very physical sign again. So maybe go through that, and maybe there's little energy blockages in these little parts in your pockets, little hidden pockets and pores and stuff like that. That there's like these little rocks or stones, that's what they're showing me. Instead of it being God, I can't even talk. Smooth flow. A smooth flow. Or I can't even say it the other way. There's rocks in the stream. There's some rocks in the stream. There's rocks in our stream. Is it our stream of consciousness? Is it our stream of health? Is it our stream of well-being? Is it our stream of money? But we've got to break out our thing here. And maybe those are little nuggets of gold. Because often the things that are blocking us are little golden nuggets. They are. Uranus is very mental. It's very much ideas. It's higher realms, but it's a higher octave of Mercury. So it's like us figuring things out and having aha moments and having discoveries. And there could absolutely be some kind of space discovery stuff going on with this Uranus and Taurus. Maybe dealing with rocks, maybe finding, you know, rocks that have, you know, oh, we found a moon rock and it has this kind of stuff in it, or we brought back rocks from wherever, or new geology could reveal some new scientific truth, or, you know, something along those lines. But that's the way they're really showing it to me, and it's really powerful. And it's almost an exact opposition to Pallas, which is also really inventive in ideas. There could be so many breakthroughs. Maybe the breakthroughs would be regarding Taurian types of vibration. I always associate Tauruses with like livestock too, because it's the bull and, you know, the cattle and stuff like that. But it's also could be associated with farming and the earth and the money too. Yes. But there could be, you know, some things that would really, a big breakthrough, scientific breakthroughs regarding Taurian natured things and our terrestrial Earth is what I'm hearing. Okay. So there's that. Chiron's in Aries. That's a big thing that I talk about in that equinox reading if you order it. And then we look at this, and we look at the full moon, and then we look at, there's a few other things. There's going to be a Venus, there's a Venus, Lilith conjunction at that time, Neptune, Mercury conjunction. But this is the big dog thing that's going to be even closer in a tighter orb. And this is going to be the big thing that's coming up for us all. We've got Saturn and Pluto on the South Node. And if you order that reading, we will look at that in your chart. But this is a huge energy that's kind of moving into place ever so slowly. And the way they're showing it to me again is like rocks. Like I hear like clomp, clomp, like these big giant rocks or megaliths are kind of just, you know, crunching along and getting aligned in place here. And that's going to be a huge overhaul of a lot of things in this world when that comes together. Saturn and Pluto are both very long-standing power, big money, you know, controlling, domineering. The South Node, it ties into so much karma. You know, it ties into so much karma. It ties into past lives, soul's journey stuff. But it's us as a collective. It's how we've been in this Capricorn energy, because it's all in Capricorn. And Saturn's there to really bring that Capricorn energy to the forefront, because of course Saturn rules Capricorn. And then Pluto's there, and that's so powerful. And then we've got, you know, the South Node there. So this is just really huge. You know, there was a big lineup in Capricorn with Saturn the last time, and that was the harmonic convergence. I was just looking that up for somebody when I did the chart. I'm going, oh yeah, that was the harmonic convergence. So that was a big gateway time period, you know, for those of us that remember that era. Now, granted, it was different planets. Might as well just look it up while I have my ephemeris out here. Must be a reason. It was in the 80s sometime, right? I think it was early 80s. But it was a time of, you know, a big energy burst and a big energy change. And so, let's see here, when was that harmonic convergence? Or the lineup I'm talking about. If I'm incorrect, I'm calling it the harmonic convergence, then you can correct me in the comments. But I believe it was, and it looks like it was 1990, 89 and 90. At that time, though, we had Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune there. So the last time, that was the last time that Saturn was in Capricorn. And it lined up with two big planets at that time, Uranus and Neptune. And now it's lining up with Pluto and the South Node, which of course is not a planet, but it's heavy. South Node, you know, I work a lot with the nodes. That's what I work with in those soul readings. And the nodes they're definitely a presence, and they're definitely a heavy-duty influencer. And it's a huge thing in the chart. I've always been drawn to the nodes from the very beginning. And you know, some people discount it because it's just a point in space. It's an astrological calculation. But it's powerful. I get a lot through the nodes. That's why I do those soul readings. I get a lot from them. So what, for those of us that are old enough to remember is what I was getting at here. What was going on during that time? Even if you weren't even aware of the harmonic convergence, or if I'm mistaken, I'm calling it that, I'm not sure. What was going on 89, 90 in your life? We could look at the world events too, which I haven't bothered to do, but because I didn't know I was going to talk about this. I think it even went into 91, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check. Yeah, we even went into 91. So the end of 89, mostly 1990, and then into a little bit of 91, and Saturn moved into Aquarius. What was going on then? What was going on in your... Oh, sorry. Let me turn this off. Sorry about that. And what was going on in your life? What was going on in the world? What was just going on? Because there's going to be a similar energy. Saturn was in its own sign at that time as well, in 1989 and 90, and it was also surrounded by some powerful outer planets, some other energy. It had a boost, albeit a different kind of energy for sure. It's different, but still, it was really the Capricornian energy really came to the forefront. The Saturn Capricorn energy was really prominent and right out in front. So it's good, especially in your own life, if you're old enough to remember, what was going on for you at that time. It's good to reflect back on that and say, what happened then for me? And then how have I come? How far have I come? How have I changed? What did the foundations, because Saturn is very much about laying foundations, what did the foundations that I laid at that time and around 1990, now has that come full circle? You can do some releasing. You can do some... it's a good time to reflect and think about it, because that's what astrology always is just cycles upon cycles upon cycles. Some of them are so far we never know. We don't live that long. Like Pluto's like whatever, a couple hundred years or something. But some of them, through our lifetime, some go quickly. Mercury, Sun, and Venus, roughly about a year. Others, Jupiter's every 12 years. They all are spinning in cycles and cycles. And by examining these cycles, it's like you learn these lessons and you grow and you can see how you've grown and how you've changed. Jupiter's also going to be approaching that galactic center. I didn't see that. I don't know if it's going to make it there before if it turns retrograde. But that'll be some powerful energy as well. Yeah, so we'll talk more about this, but there's going to be major changes, and it's moving away from the traditional... This is like the father and the mother, the male and the female. So the traditional male roles are going to be transformed and changed, and we're leaning more toward, maybe toward the matriarchy, but maybe toward, just the balance. The balance of the whole thing. Doesn't have to be one or the other. I think it's more of the balance. And that's always been true. I've talked about this before with the Native American cultures. There's the Council of the Wise Women. The women were held in just as much power and esteem as the males. It wasn't that the males ran everything. So, and there's their God, or whatever, it's Great Spirit. It's genderless. It's not Father in Heaven stuff, or the Goddess either. It's Great Spirit. Great Spirit is not male or female. It's I'm getting omnipotent, omnipresent, but none of those are the words that I'm trying to say, but also all are true. It is omnipresent. Whatever. Anything else you want to look at? Let's take a look at this. The grid, man. It's the grid. Saturn conjunct Pluto, we talked about that. Uranus square the nodes. Yeah, this Capricorn stuff is all squaring in there. We've talked about that a lot. I don't want to jump off on that today. Mercury trine the nodes, Saturn trine Mars. Well, Saturn and Mars trining, that's going to be energy working together to ground us in this very turbulent, changeable time and changeable energy. We're closing out, we're on the tipping point or the precipice of entering this new age. I know mathematically, we're very much into the age of Aquarius, but Uranus, ruled by Aquarius, coming into Taurus, possibly it could really ground us and bring it all down to earth here. Bring it not as an abstract concept out in the outer space there, but as a grounded, fixed part of Earth life, or whatever you want to call it, you know. Okay, so that is the reading. Don't forget about these equinox readings that I am offering. It'll be good till the end of March. It's a real interesting equinox. There's so much going on. I'll relate this to your chart. We'll relate the Chiron and Aries to your chart because it will be conjunct the ingress. We're going to relate the Venus-Lilith conjunction that'll be happening at that time, and the Mercury-Neptune, and any other big, huge, prominent transits that are happening in your chart at that time. I will look into a little and address. It is a predictive reading for the season. It's for till the summer solstice, but also because the Aries ingress is, you know, the new beginning of the astrological new year. You know, it could last beyond that. And so it's interesting. A lot of people like it. If you want to take advantage of it, you can check up in the corner, in the eye in the sky, or below. If you have trouble finding my videos, you can always hit subscribe. I appreciate everything you guys do to me, and do for me. Which is liking, sharing, commenting, donating, purchasing my wares, Patreon, regular donations, the whole bit. It's all good. So thank you so much for all your support. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great new moon in Pisces on March 6th, Eastern Time, 11:04. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.